Hello, I'm going to be reading you Puggy Visits the Moon, a story by Thad Roller and illustrated by Yvonne Roller and created on StoryJumper. Once there was a big, white, fluffy marshmallow of a dog named Puggy. Puggy loved to eat. He liked all kinds of foods except veggies. But he liked sweets best, and especially chocolate. Puggy belonged to Neil Armstrong, who was an astronaut. Puggy didn't know what that meant, but he suspected it involved a lot of chocolate. One day, Neil was going on a trip for a whole month. He hugged Puggy and said goodbye. But when Neil wasn't looking, Puggy jumped in the back seat of the car, where he hid while Neil drove. This is not what I expected, thought Puggy as he sneaked into Neil's office. The chocolate must be here somewhere. I'll just follow Neil until I find it. Puggy followed Neil into the dressing room, where Neil began putting on a strange suit. Puggy thought maybe it was for eating chocolate, so he put one on too. But it was too big for him. Puggy couldn't see anything. He started bumping into everything. He crashed into the wall, the door, the mirror, and even Neil. "Whoa there," said Neil. "A little nervous about the launch?" "I knew there would be lunch," thought Puggy. "What's your name, astronaut?" asked Neil. "Woof, woof," answered Puggy. "Oh, nice to meet you, Rufus," said Neil. A few minutes later, they arrived at a big thing. "What is it?" asked Puggy. "This is our ticket to the Milky Way," Neil laughed. Puggy thought. "Milky Ways are my favorite." Soon the rocket started to move. It bumped and jumped and rattled and shook. Puggy felt very, very heavy. Until, all of a sudden, he didn't. Puggy was floating. He floated right out of his spacesuit. "Puggy, is that you?" exclaimed Neil. "But how, when, where did you come from?" "I thought there would be chocolate. Woof, woof," replied Puggy. Just then a light began flashing. "The proximity alarm," shouted Neil. "We must be almost there." "Almost where? Woof, woof," wondered Puggy. "The moon, of course," answered Neil. "I'm going to the moon?" "Puggy, I have to adjust the boosters. Stay here, and whatever you do, don't touch anything," instructed Neil. "Okay, woof, woof," answered Puggy. But then he started looking at all the buttons, and he couldn't help himself. Puggy went crazy, and the rocket went crazy. "Puggy!" Soon Puggy saw something wonderful out the window. "What's that? Woof, woof." "Could be a starburst," said Neil without looking. "Or maybe it's Mars." Then they got closer and closer until they crashed into it. "We crashed! Woof, woof," announced Puggy. "Yes, we landed," said Neil. "Ready to make history?" asked Neil. "By becoming the first dog to actually eat the whole Milky Way?" "No, silly Puggy. I mean by being the first dog to ever set paw on the moon. This is one small step for a man, one giant leap for man and dog kind." "Hey, you guys got any chocolate around here? Woof, woof." But soon Puggy and Neil had to go home. and let's just say that Puggy became the most famous dog in the world, which he rather enjoyed because he discovered that while astronauts don't get lots of chocolate, famous dogs do. The end. To find more stories like this or to create your own, please visit us at StoryJumper.com.